Yeah, it is a very nice day.
And I have better lighting in here too. I was gonna do it in my room, but the lighting is terrible.
Yeah. Well, sweet. So everybody who's wondering what this thing is, I am on a live stream with Taylor Ray, and if you guys aren't familiar with him, he's another automotive YouTuber. We've hung out a couple times and done some cool stuff, but uh, but yeah. So he is right there. As soon as he talks, it should pop up. Hopefully, this live stream is a decent quality for everybody. But if
My
not,
life
I guess
terrible quality.
I know it looks kind of poopy like on my end too, but I'm not sure. So hopefully people in the comments don't mind too bad. So actually on the YouTube watch page it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would.
Well, I tried to
So
pull it up so I could read the comments, and then it just started blasting. Oh, I could just turn the volume down. I'm an
yeah.
idiot. Why didn't
Yeah,
I
I
think
just
of
turned
that?
the
I'll do
so
that
I
again.
have to I for everybody who's wondering, I'm doing mine off of my cell phone right now because my MacBook for some reason can't connect or do something weird. So
Oh, is that what it was?
or
I was,
it doesn't like the microphone.
oh, cool. I got the live chat and everything. We are good to go.
Do you have the live chat in the Hangouts or do you have it on the watch page?
It's like I just pulled it up on the watch page, but I got it.
Nice.
We're good. I can see the chat. Supra.
Yeah, that's good. Super.
Last time I could see the chat, and it
Yeah,
was
we're so we have like 420, 430 some people on right now, which is pretty cool.
dude, that's really good. Mine are like 200 people.
So really,
I
that's
had
cool. Oh,
one
you're
whenever I do live streams, I did one of Simply Clean and it was terrible. The quality was terrible though. Everyone's like, Taylor, what are you doing?
hmm Yeah,
That
it
kind of,
doesn't look bad on the YouTube watch page though.
no. It was just because I
So
was and I didn't have Wi-Fi or anything. So I think it like
hmm
super potatoed me.
yeah.
What's up? Yep. UD Fab. You Fab, bro. So you want to
Yeah.
introduce?
So I
Well,
guess Taylor, what would you say the purpose of this live stream is today?
I think the goal would be to help give the people that watch our channels, other automotive channels, etc., like a better understanding of how sponsorships work for people like us, and just kind of a better idea of how it all works. Because I think there's a big misconception between one, how much money we make compared to like bigger YouTubers. They see bigger YouTubers buying all this crazy stuff, and they think we've got to be close to that, when in reality it's not quite like that. And then people think that we can
hmm
just do anything we want for free, and that's not at all what it is. And just
Yeah.
talking positively about something that we have, it doesn't mean that we got it for free, and that way
Yeah,
it's
I know. I was reading some of your comments on that the LS when you're tearing it down with the Milwaukee thing, and it seemed like people were upset about it and for some reason because you
yeah,
like Milwaukee products.
it doesn't make sense. Like, yes, they sent them to me, but I bought tons of them, and they were willing to send me some stuff to try out, and I was like sick, and I really like their product.
Yeah.
It's not like
So
I'm
there's no reason to not like speak highly of something that you essentially really like. So
right. Like, I talk highly about my welder that I bought from Harbor Freight. It's a good welder, and
yeah.
to the Volt, it's tough because I feel like sometimes it like pigeonholes me into this place where if I pay for something, I almost try to find something negative to say about it, because I don't want people to think that it was sponsored and that whatever my opinion is I'm being paid to say that.
Yeah, or you're under contract and you're only supposed to say nice things about it or something like
Right.
that. But
And
but yeah,
people,
so
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was gonna say. So I've kind of had this video. I was initially gonna do this live stream yesterday without Taylor, and this was kind of a video I've had in my head for a little while. And when me and Taylor were in Texas, we kind of had mentioned kind of similar ideas and kind of shared our thoughts on the whole like YouTube sponsor thing and kind of how it all works and like how you don't even really know how it should work almost because it's so new. And I guess that's kind of one of the things I wanted to talk about today was kind of where the automotive, I guess, like sponsorship money is now and where it's going to go. And I know Aaron Losey from the Lone Star Drift channel, been in Taylor's videos, and we went down there and drifted with him. But he talks a lot about that too, and just kind of this whole YouTube thing is just it's crazy, honestly. Where did you go, Taylor?
What?
Where did you go?
What was I going to say? I just had like something that came. Oh, okay. So the other thing is like, for example, the Milwaukee thing. It's just a good example. Gave me those tools, but they didn't ask anything of me. They didn't say, "Hey, we need you to film a full video on this. We need you to put this much in it." This and nothing. They're just like, here you go. Try them out. Let us know what you think. Give your honest opinion on them. So, and like, if we're doing that kind of stuff, it's not really any different than if we paid for it, because if I don't like them, I'll tell you and I'll tell people why. And I feel like people think if we like something at all that we're getting paid like thousands of dollars to promote these products, and that's just not at all the case. I wish that was the case, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way for us.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm kind of having a brain fart right now too, but yeah, I guess being on the live stream is a lot different than talking to each other on the phone. So me and Taylor, I called him last night and was kind of ran this idea by him, and I was like, hey, do you want to do a live stream with me tomorrow? And we basically agreed that we should stop talking, that we so that we could save it for the live stream. But because I think it is.
Dave.
Go ahead.
I was just asking if that was Dave.
Oh yeah, that's Dave. He's just walking around. I can't see you anymore, Taylor. Like on my phone, I guess. I can't.
Oh,
see
really?
you over there. Yeah, it doesn't show you. It only shows you on the watch screen.
That's weird.
It shows you. Oh, whatever. I don't know. It's been crazy.
So one thing I found interesting, especially working somewhat in the industry and kind of knowing a little bit of the behind the scenes of sponsorships for people like stuff like that, a Pro 2 FD driver can go to a company and not only get free product, but get budget, get paid money put towards their program, because obviously they need it, and the product, while having maybe 5,000, 10,000 followers on Instagram, and they drive Pro 2 events, which if you've been to an FD event, you know that not that many people go to a Pro 2 event. So their overall reach, in a pure number sense, is relatively small. And I understand that they need the budget to do what they're doing. But at the same time, I could approach that same company and they would maybe give me 20% off the product. So it's kind of crazy that that's the difference. And it blows my mind sometimes.
It's nuts too, because okay, so the Formula Drift live stream, how many views does that get? Like what's the most you've ever seen it have?
Oh man, only a few thousand.
How many?
Like a few thousand.
Yeah, like even if it was 50,000, live streaming, and then how many people actually go to the event there, like in person?
5, I think 10 is probably the most that they'll ever see.
Yeah. And it's just kind of weird, how you mentioned, like the Pro 2 drivers, they get this money or they get this, which I don't know how much or whatever. I think, almost everybody in drifting, like nobody makes money off of it, especially at that level.
Like Ryan,
unless you're like top 8 guys.
Right. And even then you have to market yourself right. And they do kind of what we do. They, there's YouTube series that they have going on. They've got these behind the bill. They're doing all this other stuff on top of driving. And it almost doesn't even matter what they place. The guys who are actually making money, it's not even super relevant how well they do. As long as they're good enough to stay relevant and keep a fan base, that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
But like, it's all about the other stuff they do, the videos and this and that, and where they're appearing and all of that stuff, the demos. And it's crazy that like what we do, that they do, is what really gets them the sponsorships. But yet we can't even get what they get without doing any of that.
Yeah, it's hard it feels like it's hard to get a discount, in certain realms. But what's crazy though is where I think the value with us as YouTubers comes is, let's say any one of my videos that I upload, even, if it's not a super video, it gets 30 to 40,000 views within the first week, kind of no matter what, and what do your videos do? Like 50,
Uh,
60, somewhere there.
yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah.
So like one video, and that's, essentially I see like the value for it is, if you are showcasing somebody's product, or if you did get sponsored and you're, or requesting money, like I feel, it's so easy for us to, go from, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but if it's so easy to show the product and it instantly be out there, or, installing a video, it doesn't matter if your car made it to an FD event, in Florida, like 27 hours away, and kind of got a glimpse of, time on the live stream for somebody to see that product or see it in use or whatever. Whereas YouTube, it's like I could walk out in the shop, in an hour, I could have a video edited and uploaded to YouTube, and it'll get this many views within this many days, and we could control that, and we know that it will get views on it versus
And we can
kind of
show
like,
our specific analytics too, like the age group of people that watch our videos and the times, and it's also a dedicated video on whatever the product is. It's not just a BC Racing sticker on the fender of somebody's car.
yeah,
It's you installing BC Racing coilovers on your car and doing setup and everything, which then also gets viewed for people who just need to know that information. So I feel like it's a lot. It's valuable, what we have to offer, and
yeah,
especially when we're reaching out to these companies. Like, I don't know, I'm sure you're like me, and I only reach out to companies that if they'd say no or don't hit me back up, then I'm probably going to just buy their product. You know?
yeah. And I feel like that's another thing too is, being an automotive YouTuber, reaching out to these companies, you can't necessarily go fishing, for products, like, because they see that, like they know that you're just essentially trying to get something for free. So like, kind of like my mentality when I'm approaching somebody is like, just like you said, if you can't work a deal with them, like essentially you're still almost going to buy that product because you're so stoked about it and you need it,
Right. And it's, that you like, to you, it's like when you promote it, it's genuine because you would be saying the same things about it either way. It's just like me with the Milwaukee tools, like the impact I have. That is the impact I wanted. They sent it to
Mm-hmm.
me, which is awesome, but like I would have bought it and I would have said the same things about it because I did a lot of research and that's the impact gun I wanted. And I think that's what's cool too, is that the viewers kind of know that, especially with the car stuff, like even if it is a sponsored product, we most likely really like the product and they don't have to worry about our view being skewed because it's free or discounted or whatever. Because if we got that product, nobody came to us and said, "Hey, Trevor, do you want a set of wheels?" We went to them and we're like, "I really like these wheels. Would you be interested in working with me?" So
Mm-hmm.
you kind of remain that genuine interest and the genuine review and promotion. I don't know. I think it kind of works out on both ends.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely interesting, and I guess the other thing is how you're talking about analytics. A car that's at a, drift event or whatever, like you will never know if, like, that car being at the drift event or that car being at the car show ever sold any products. Whereas with the whole YouTube thing, you could do, link in the description with a promo code, and you could see everything. Like when we were doing the whole giveaway thing and on the whole Shopify thing, it showed us exactly where, like, essentially the views, the sales, and everything came from. Whether like somebody visited, the merch store or whatever after the, like, YouTube, or if it was a Google search, or if it was Facebook. So you could really, really tell where that stuff is coming from. And I feel like that's where a huge value is in this, like, for the sponsor, essentially, is because you could actually track it and see if it's worth it on their end.
Yeah, and they can see ahead of time. Like you may not know what, Ryan Turk's a bad example, what like Kristaps' demographic is. You might not know like FD's demographic is X, but his may be Y, like this different section of that demographic, and the numbers are going to be different than they are for like the whole FD demographic. But you can tell them, hey, like this is how many people, you know, or this is the age group of people that watch my videos. You know, these are the countries, these are the top areas, this is how they watch them. You can give so much more information to a company for them to use and look at it and say, okay, this is worth it, this isn't worth it, or whatever.
Yeah. And I guess the other issue, you know, coming from like our side of things, is it's like, how do you value it? You know, like how much can you ask for, you know? So you have one company that wants to send you, you know, a set of like $60 headlights, and you make like, they want like 2 reviews and, you know, all this crazy stuff. And you're just like, no, like that's essentially, I don't know. It's just like almost asking too much on their part of things. But then like you go asking for like a discount on a turbocharger, or, you know, coilovers or something like that. You know, it's just like that, I feel is kind of an obtainable thing, you know, like a turbo or coilovers or something. But when it comes down to it, I feel like they're almost, it's just kind of hard to value it, because, you know, it's okay. So you have like these $60 headlights, but you have this $2,000 turbo, or, you know, or this $1,000 set of coilovers. You
Where
know,
does the
it's
value
like,
fall?
yeah, exactly. So, and you can't really give that person that wants to give you that wants to do the headlights, you know, I guess it would be different if you wanted the headlights, you know, but in the case of like an actual sponsored video, you know, like they would kind of, I don't know, it's just hard to see that value, or put a price on that, you know?
Hold on one second. We got to figure out why I look like I'm streaming from a potato according to everybody on YouTube.
Yeah.
Does it look that bad to you?
On the viewer, it doesn't really look that good. Oh, look, there's David.
My
David's
like
in
it looks like crystal clear on my computer, and my Wi-Fi is like 100% like solid. Wi-Fi is good. Do you think maybe because it's going through your phone or something? Someone is making a really annoying sound. Did Adam just post his video or something? I already
He
know,
did, yeah.
guys, about it. Not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. It's a car. And yes, Adam
He's good.
will take care of it.
Yeah, Adam's a good dude. He'll take care of you.
I knew that going into it, that it could possibly get crashed. I knew that if it did, Adam would cover, you know, whatever damage there was. So not even an issue. Not a big deal. Now I'll just go even harder in my car.
Yeah, no, now I just need to get one over there is what I need.
Yeah.
I really want to go over there for the spring Matsuri.
That's when I'm going back.
Yeah,
Oh,
or if I could even find a car over there would be, but
oh wait, people said it just got better. Okay, well, anyway, so someone asked how Miata's going. Good. Going to drive it tomorrow. So excited for this event this weekend.
yeah, I'm excited for you to put the LS in that thing.
Dude, me too. Me too. I just put a catch can in all nice and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this turbo Miata motor. I drove it around, and it's on 10 pounds now, and it runs so good. I'm like, oh, but at
Yeah,
the time, you know, I'm
we'll
ready for
we'll
this. It's going to be fun.
we'll see how it's running after this weekend.
Dude, I swear, every time I'm out here doing any sort of filming, planes just fly over nonstop.
Yeah, that's they just know. They
Uh,
just
so
know.
okay, so what was the other? Okay, so the other thing we were going to talk about, part of all this was that the crazy thing is the difference. Like, oh man, I'm brain farting on the word, but the difference between like what people people either see the value in it 100% or they see no value in it. So like we've been talking about this whole time, we could go to a wheel company that makes like cast wheels, nothing expensive, and say, hey, would you guys be willing to sponsor me a set of wheels? They're going to be on my car. They're going to get X amount of promotion. Blah blah blah. I really like them, and tell them how you're going to promote their product because of how you like it. All this stuff, and they'll say no. Or you know what bothers me? I don't know if this has happened to you, but people just won't even respond. Like they won't
Yeah,
respond.
it's just like
We want
crickets.
nothing to do with you. Like you're a loser. Okay, that's fine. But they don't even respond, and that's what drives me nuts. It's like how do so many companies not have the decency to say, hey guys, like sorry man, can't do that, you know, or whatever. They just ignore the email entirely. But
Yeah.
where I was going with this is, so you see that, right? And for me, it's been really hard. Rarely is a company willing to work with me at all. So like pretty much in the automotive industry, getting sponsorships on stuff is like slim to none. Game app
Yeah,
company.
it's honestly like a pain too, and that'll lead into it. I'll take on the topic from there after you.
Okay. So and then you'll have this video game app company that will email you, or like this China tool, China part company. I'll have them email me, and they're willing to send me tools and like as much money as I make on YouTube in a month. I mean, now with AdSense being so down, you know, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to promote something that I'm not into or whatever. You know, I just want to get parts that I want for my car, you know, and work with the company on that stuff. But instead, it's like the only real route to take is to then take these sponsorships of this stuff that you don't care about. And one of those sponsorships will pay for like 4 parts you've been busting your ass trying to get sponsored in
Yeah,
one
exactly.
30-second plug. And
And
it's like,
it's crazy because it's like a video game company that has nothing to do with automotive stuff. It'll be like a you know a Clash game or some you know some war game or something, but or a poker game. But they're willing to sponsor you, and they see the value like in your videos and like your audience. Whereas like an automotive company, you know, or a wheel company or you know something along those lines, like they don't,
right,
you know, and we also talked a little bit about it last night. You know that it might be because you know the low overhead essentially of you know their products. You know, and it would be really hard to go to like some guy who makes like turbo manifolds or something, makes these like super crazy
right.
baller turbo manifolds and has like his personal time and effort, you know,
And
in
money into each
like
one.
in this piece of art, you know, and be like, oh hey, give me the turbo manifold and you know a couple $1,000 or you know like something like that. Whereas the video game is just like whatever, you know, this is nothing, you know. So there's always that, you
On
know.
it. The more people they get, the more money they're going to make. But at the same time, the margin is huge. I mean, it's a lot of money to promote this thing for 30 seconds versus making an entire several dedicated videos on something that's like $500 and them saying no. Like
Yeah,
I
and it
if I wanted to, I couldn't even get a cam sponsored. Like I've given up on the whole sponsorship thing for the most part. I understand some people are already commenting about that. Why don't you just spend your own money and this and that? I understand. I want to. It's just sponsorships help. Sponsorships are the ability for us to get a project done in a month and have way more entertaining content for the viewer than to get it done in 3 months while we save up money. You know, it's not
yeah
all of them are like these big channels like Roadkill and stuff. Like Roadkill can spend 20 grand on a car in one episode. I love Roadkill, but I'm just saying they can. We can't just drop 20 grand on a car for a couple of videos.
yeah. And then you know the other thing is the amount of content that like we put out. You know, let's say we each do 3 videos a week, you know, like it's I'm having a massive brain fart right now, but like the videos that will have the product in it, you know, for you know multiple videos, or you know you'll see the life of that product like for years on the channel essentially,
Yeah, especially like
you
wheels or
know.
something. Like they're in your car every single video you ever make.
Yeah, yeah. And if you had a sticker like pairing with those wheels, you know, that like that's just crazy.
You say sticker?
Yeah, like a sticker, like you know like
Oh, like a sticker in your car.
yeah, so that like you know you have those wheels and there's a big wheel sticker on your car, you know, that's like, and it's in your videos, you know, it just lasts almost forever, you know,
Right.
unless
That's why
and
I asked Milwaukee to send me a banner to hang in my garage because we had this blank wall, and it was like they've supported me by sending me some stuff, and I think it's awesome that a big company like that sees value in what I'm doing and is willing to try to support me by helping me out by just sending me some tools that I would otherwise have to buy. I mean, and it's awesome. So like I asked them, hey, can you send me this banner so I can hang it in my garage so it can be seen in more videos, because I want to promote them because they've been awesome to me and they're a good company. You know, and
yeah,
that's like the
and
kind of value that we could bring to these people. They don't even give us a chance.
Yeah, and then like how you mentioned somebody, I wasn't really paying attention to the comments, but somebody said, you know, like spend your own money. I mean, it's kind of hard to essentially spend your own money on these projects because you get so deep in them. You know, like you start working on this project and you buy all this stuff, but you need, you know, you need a set of wheels, or you need a turbo, or you need a set of coilovers, or you
You
know, a
need to
wiring harness, or
fittings.
yeah, exactly. And then so you're like, okay, if I get a sponsored product, I could make another video, you know, because I'm able to make progress on the car. Whereas, you know, let's say your YouTube revenue, you know, wasn't enough or whatever, like you would have to go out and not be making videos, but be making real, you know, be making actual money to put into the car, you know,
Right.
and it's just, you know, a longer process that way. So, you know, it's kind of like a good thing kind of all around, you know, like the sponsors get their product in front of a bunch of people. Us, we get to make more videos and use like super dope baller parts that we would have bought anyhow.
Yeah.
But since they were sponsored, now we're able to make more videos more consistently and build a better car essentially. And, you know, so it's kind of a good thing all around. But how you mentioned one of the other things is it's kind of a pain in the butt, you know, and how you said you've almost strayed away from sponsors. I mean, that's pretty much how I've been. Like, even when I went to SEMA, I didn't really want to ask or, you know, go talk to people about certain things or even mention like the sponsor thing. It's just because I'm almost tired of hearing no, or, you know, even if there is kind of a light at the end of the tunnel, you go down and you start pursuing it, you know, you get like 1 or 2 emails in and then it's nothing. And then you're like, okay, so I was kind of, you know, you're working towards this and then it's just such a pain that it's just almost easier just to buy the stuff.
Yeah, just to
You
wait.
know, yeah. And I mean, I feel like that like, honestly, like it's just so much easier. Like when, you know, Adam and, you know, when he brought me out there to do the 1J in Nicole's, you know, like in Nicole's car, essentially like nothing, I don't think anything really was sponsored on that thing. And it was because of, you know, kind of the time crunch and just the, you know, the issue of getting parts. It's just easy to just be like, okay, like we just need to order this because we need it, you
right.
know? Like,
Well,
whereas I'm sure if he would have planned that out, like he would have had to plan it out a month or two in advance in
once,
order
yeah.
to get any of it,
And then
to get any of those parts in.
he still might not even get them at that point. Like me and Adam, you know, he tells me on most stuff. We talk about this stuff, and like I've seen the sponsorships that D drivers get, and I've seen the sponsorships Adam gets. It is harder for Adam with only 2 million subscribers to get sponsored products than your run-of-the-mill FD driver.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like
nuts.
it doesn't make sense. They're like that. Just I don't understand it.
But I think it's going there. You know, I mean, in like influencer marketing, it's you know, it's definitely on the rise. I think certain companies are seeing value in it, and you know, the companies that I did kind of mention, you know, the whole like YouTube, you know, sponsor promotion, you know, marketing thing too at SEMA, like this year versus 2 years ago was way different. You know, the people that like you talk to them about it and they're like, yeah, we were actually, you know, looking into this, or we're currently doing this, or that's something we're trying to do. You know, is kind of reach out into the whole influencer, you know, market of marketing. So
Yeah, I mean, Aaron's been saying it for like well over a year now. He said, tell me that, you know, oh, what we're doing is like the future of racing because you don't necessarily have to go compete. You can go drive for fun and you can get sponsorships and stuff. And I told him over a year ago, like, dude, I can't get sponsorships for anything. You know, I've tried to get some parts that I was going to buy and I just had to buy them, which is okay. But, you know, I've tried and it doesn't work. And he's like, it's going to change. It's going to change. And I will say in a year, it has changed. It seems like more companies are seeing the value in it. I think part of it might be the age demographic of the company. Like if I hit up some super American Chevy LS parts company, they probably still haven't even heard of like a YouTube channel and subscribing, you know? They use
yeah.
YouTube to search Corvette burnouts, you know? And they might not know that this whole world exists. I didn't know this whole world existed until I met Adam. I had no idea that there were like channels and you'd subscribe. I just thought there was videos and you searched for stuff and you found it. Like I didn't know anything about it. And I think that's where a lot of these people are, especially, we're in the car world, and the car world's still kind of like a little bit old-minded. It's new people are coming in and taking over their spots, and I think that's where we see the change in people being more willing to reach out and work with us and things like that, because you're getting younger people into these companies and in a role that has the power to do that.
Yeah. And the other thing I've noticed is, like, even you kind of mentioned it, is we almost have the most success with like people that work for companies that watch the channels, because they they're like a younger guy in the company, and they work with people, or they can mention like our name or something, and actually it seems like that's almost a better, I've seen a bigger, I guess, value of that, or that working out better for me, versus like actually approaching companies. But how you mentioned like the Corvette shifter company, like reaching out for like they make parts for American Chevy Corvettes, whatever. But I talked to a company, it was 4 years ago at SEMA, or 3 years ago at SEMA, when I had the LS in my 240, and they had a short shifter, and it was they had this little booth, at SEMA. They made these like really baller looking like billet short shifters for like T56s, and I like mentioned the idea of YouTube and sponsor, and he was like disgusted, like he was like what do you mean? Like it was like I went up there and was just trying to steal it. Yeah, like I told him it sucked, and I'm gonna take it because it sucked, and I was like dude, this thing's dope, like I would like to show this to people, would you be willing to work with me on it? And he was just like, no, like completely like
for me,
against it.
The same thing. I think the guy came back with like, yeah, we can give you 5% off. And I was like,
yeah,
okay, I would just obviously just buy it like outright at that point. It doesn't make sense. But I don't know.
And then
My luck has changed a little bit. I've met some people, like you said, that work for companies. That's like, someone actually mentioned that in the chat, and it's kind of like me getting my job. It's networking, and it kind of how like Adam got sponsored by BC. That's how I met Adam originally, and Cody sponsored a set of coilovers, and I had to install them, and then we became friends. And Cody was kind of like, I had to show Cody the value in it for Cody to want to keep, helping Adam out. And I feel like that's kind of what it takes. It takes the person in the company who not necessarily even just a fan of you, but is a fan of YouTube in general, and knows like the power and the marketing that is there, I guess. Like, I don't want to call it that, but just they know about YouTube, and they know how into YouTube people get. Like, I watch channels religiously, so I understand it. But I feel like if you're somebody at a company that doesn't watch any YouTube channels, you're not subscribed to anybody, you don't keep up with it, it's hard for you to understand what it even is we're doing.
Yeah, and it seems like the avenues that like do work out the best is it's almost their idea, or like it's their idea to like sponsor you almost, like in order for, and they actually see the value in it, and those are the ones that like work the best. But
that's interesting. I never even heard of BC until Taylor and Adam's YouTube. Yeah, my work, it seems like, doesn't necessarily see the value in my videos. Sometimes I feel like, not that I'm doing anything, I'm not marketing them, I don't make anything up. I just happen to work there, and I go to these events for work, and I film there, but it's like just natural marketing. And I don't think even they understand that exposes it to a lot of people,
Yeah, and like I'm gonna be honest with you, like I didn't really know a whole lot about BC before, like you guys really. Like I seen them in like Adam's videos and stuff like that. But and I found a used set of BC racing coilovers on eBay, and I ended up buying them and putting them on my car.
Oh wow!
And I was like, oh, these are tight. And so I ran them on there for a year, and then the next year that was right after Japan. And I went out to Japan with Cody, so we had that kind of personal relationship, and he's seen that I was doing YouTube videos and stuff out there. My channel wasn't very big. I think I was at like 18,000 subscribers or something when I went to Japan like 2 years ago. And so then, you know, we worked together with a set of coilovers for the next year, but I kind of feel like, you know, most of that was because of, you know, it was actually, you know, we actually knew each other, you know.
We should ban Hammer this STC racing in the chat. He's annoying. He's just like talking trash on both of us and then asking people to subscribe to his channel.
Oh, I haven't even been paying attention.
I just glance up at it every now and then.
All right, it's done. The deed is done. The hammer.
All right, cool. There we go. All right.
Nice. Oh, so refreshing now.
Right, to ban somebody. What else were we gonna talk about?
We had a good conversation on the phone last night. We
just gone live.
We were excited about it, but there's also not the pressure of a live stream either. Like that's kind of the. Sometimes it's hard to gather your thoughts on this thing.
Should we answer questions until we remember what else we were going to talk about?
Yeah. Oh, so can you see how many people are viewing it right now?
No. I have
there's like 590 something.
I have like
people watching.
A tiny little box. Taylor, how do you feel about your car? It's fine. I don't care. It's not a big deal. It's a car. I had a friend literally total my car that I built for 2 years. I had first got it tuned and running right, and I let my friend drive it, and he totaled it, like destroyed it, like real bad. And I was like, oh, okay, it's a car. And he paid for what I was able to get what I would have sold it for out of the shell, out of the money he gave me and the parts I sold. So like it worked out. It's just a car at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm glad Nicole got to have fun. I'm glad Adam got to have fun and drive. Otherwise, that trip, he wouldn't have drove till the last day. So like that would have sucked, that whole trip, for basically no drifting. So
yeah, I mean, that's really unfortunate that his Cresta had so many issues with the steering. It was crazy because that super cheap, you know, JZX90 missile that I had over there in Japan, like the turbo smoked. It had like a bad motor mount. Like there was like this crazy one-piece intercooler piping sticking out of the hood when I first got it. But like that thing was cheap, and I beat the crap out of it for 3 days solid. And it was cool with it the whole time.
People donated to your chat. I love both of your guys' content. Thanks, Ed, for donating to Trevor. I've never had somebody do that. That's so nice of you.
Oh, you've never had the super chat? No, the super chat's crazy.
Yeah, nobody.
You could even open your own like super chat window where it only shows you the super chat ones. But no, it's one time I was doing, because a lot of times when I do the live streams, at the end of them, I like to do like a burnout to kind of like, you know, send it off to kind of, you know, kind of thank the people for sticking around for, you know, the normal hour of random, you know, live stream that we did. And one time I was like, I was in the Datsun, and he's like, I'll give you $50 to do a burnout in the Datsun. And he actually paid me. I was like, holy crap.
Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah. It was nuts. Yeah. He's like, I'm a man of my word. $50. I was like, wow, that's nuts.
If you had one type of engine in every car you owned, would you have every car with an LS or a 2J? Taylor and Trevor. LS.
Oh, I would be probably JZ.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a big fan of the JZs right now. I was an LS man, and then I don't know. I put multiple LSs in my drift car over the course of like 2 or 3 years, and I was just like, eh. And then like my JZ's just been sitting in there.
That's so weird. Why? I don't understand. That's normally the opposite.
I don't know.
LSs only work well.
Well, I feel like, I don't know, kind of stock LSs that have, you know, 150,000 miles on them have never been like abused to that extent, you know. And I never really had like I never threw a rod or anything like that, but it was always like paranoia, I guess, on my part. I'd go to change oil and there'd be like silvery stuff in there, and I was just like, yank it out. And,
oh my gosh.
You know, but
you must not actually watch Sloppy Mechanics then. You'd know to just let it ride.
Yeah, I don't know. I was scared though, and that was before I was watching his videos at the time. But I was just scared. I seen the silvery stuff in the oil, and I was just like, oh, this thing's bad. I'm gonna pull it out before. And I had like other ones laying around. Just like
Right, right.
it seems like once you go down a path of like changing your setup, like the first initial jump, you're like, oh no, I'm switching to like an LS from a Jay-Z or whatever, and then all of a sudden like you just randomly find all this cheap LS stuff, and then you just have like a garage full of LS things. So
That works out
like
for
when I
garage.
yeah, but like initially when I swapped to the Jay-Z, I was scared. I was like, I don't have any Jay-Z parts, you know? Like, and now I don't even know how many damn Jay-Z's are in the shop right now. I just got two of them delivered. I just ordered two of them. One's for my uncle and one's for the Super today.
Oh
But
my, you're wild,
it's
man.
it's crazy. Do you want to go for a tour and see all the Jay-Z's in the shop?
Yeah, hold on, wait. You take over the chat for a second. I've got to run and do a bathroom and water break. So you take over the
Okay.
chat, and then we'll do a tour.
All right. So I'm gonna answer a couple questions. Why
Yeah,
Taylor
say
is?
whatever you want to say. Shout out to Neil. I need coilovers. Email me tech@bcracing-na.com. All right, do that. I'll be back.
$5 just for giving David crap in your videos. Thanks, Neil. But yeah, I love talking crap in my videos to David. It seems that some people were saying that I'm a bully to him, and that's just how we talk to each other. It's I think it's just what you do, kind of when you're like really good friends with somebody, is you just got to bust each other's balls. Like that's just like me and David. Like we just talk crap to each other like all day. Like if we said something, like the only time we say nice things to each other is like when we're mad at each other almost, like because we're like, okay, well, if we're actually mad, the only thing we're gonna have to do is be nice, because if we start talking too much crap, then it ain't gonna. But yeah, if we're talking crap to each other, we're happy. Do a burnout. Every group of friends has one whipping boy. Yeah, that's funny. No, David isn't my brother. So Dave's actually, I'm 25 and he's 30. Dave is 30 years old. Can you believe that? He just got food, but watch, he's gonna come in here, and he didn't bring me nothing. Dang guy. Uh-oh, maybe he did. He has a drink carrier. He didn't get me nothing. Dave didn't get me nothing. $5 that David didn't get me something. He went. I'm watching him on the cameras right here. But the Supra paint is it's kind of not on the back burner, but I was frustrated with it, and I wanted to do this BMW thing, and so I'm going to kind of do that in the background while I'm making other automotive content and stuff. Oh, hey David, what did you get me anything? Did you guys see that? Did you see David shake his head because he didn't get me nothing? No, maybe it did. You got a Starbucks and some Danishes, some apple fritters. All right, tight. So David did technically get me something, so I owe one of you guys $5. I told him $5. You didn't get me nothing because he normally doesn't. So people are saying something about Hoonigan. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure. I know Offbeat was on it. I just seen the thumbnail and I recognized his car, so I know he did the circle jerk things. So do we have to do the circle jerks? I don't know. I think we need to watch the Hoonigans video. Is what I'm assuming. Yeah, pink shirt David. David has like 50 of those shirts. Do you guys want to watch David eat? Dave, you're eating on the internet. There's 639 people just checking you out. Watch David eat every last bit himself, no sharing. No, RIP to the knees, guys. It's wintertime. He's wearing pants. They're away. Saab drift card. No, I've really kind of been thinking about a Saab drift card. It's been in the back of my head for a little while. Top comment on Hoonigan video. Thanks, Van Horn Jim. Appreciate that. Van Horn Jim gave me $20 in a super chat. He probably feels bad for me because you didn't give me nothing. He's buying me dinner. He watches every vid. Well, I appreciate that. That's very kind.
It was at 340.
340 what? Oh, get out of here, David.
Why?
No, Adam used it.
He used one. There's two.
David, don't do that. Dave's trying to take my spare fuel pump. I have a 450 if you want to throw that in there.
Try something.
Just do a burnout at Hoonigan. No, I'm not sure what the whole Hoonigan thing. I really need to go watch that video. That's all I need to do is I need to go watch the Hoonigan video and see what's going on over there. But I would like to do some circle jerks. I watched the Adam video of them doing that. That seemed like a fun game. I'm not sure if like I'm supposed to go out there and do the circle jerks or if we're supposed to make our own version here. But me and Dave, we got the thrash cars. We both got 4-door things. I should be actually working on that thing right now. Oh, sorry. I dipped out of the screen. I forgot that I'm on my phone right here. But no, we should be working on the. Did you get brake pads? Oh. But anyhow, me and David, we both have our thrash cars, and we're gonna go rub on each other this weekend, and at IMI. So there's like a little end of the year Drift Colorado, not really an official event. It's basically guys just going to the track. And I've always wanted to take that BMW and just kind of thrash it, like just something that you don't, I care about it because, I bought things for it and I don't want to just go out there and wreck it into a wall, but I want to be able to like really kind of push myself and kind of, essentially just kind of not learn, but like tandem harder, essentially just practice just harder in a car that, you don't have $400 each fender and side skirt and bumper and everything on it. Like every time you wreck it is like $400, whereas that whole car was $300. Uh-oh. Apologize. RIP to headphone users because I dropped my phone. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this this live stream. Taylor, he took a bathroom and drink break. Dave, will you hand me one of them waters?
There's cold ones.
I don't want a cold one. I can't drink like super cold water. Oh, David. Uh-oh. I heard Taylor. Look at David just eating. Hell yeah, David, you eat that. Eat them damn fritters. Eat that apple fritter like a...
All right, I'm back. I had to get a sweater. Dude, planes are just nonstop flying over. I don't understand. I never hear planes. Oh, Trevor, look at my TIG welds. You probably can't see them. My camera's not very good.
Those don't look bad.
Yeah, that was today. I kind of finally figured it out. I was holding too long of an arc. So stoked.
Oh yeah, you almost have to touch that thing.
I know. That's
like
well. I can do that on like the straight beads, because it's easier just going straight on a plate. But then when I was getting into the corners, I was just holding it way too far away because it seems like you're closer than you are. Taylor just cracked the bowl. Oh, damn, stacking that. I don't understand. It's not. It is kind of. It's chilly out here. All right. If it dips below 70, I'm freezing.
Yeah. Are you ready to go on the Jay-Z tour?
Yeah. Don't make me nauseous though. Don't be bouncing all over the place.
I'll try to hold her steady.
Oh god.
Look at this. Look at that 3M stuff. Is that sponsored? Is this a sponsored video?
This is the plan the whole time.
No, yeah, check these guys out.
They're frozen.
So this is I'm frozen.
Oh, you were just glitching. You're good now.
It probably doesn't like it when I move very fast.
1J non-VVTIs?
No, 2J VVTIs. They're I just have the.
They look like
valve
one
cover.
Yeah, it looked like the twin turbo like piping. Oh, because they are twin 2J. Duh.
Yeah, the old 2Js. No, but one of them's for the Supra, and then one of them's for my uncle. He has like a 34 Ford coupe that he's gonna like put one in, which I think is gonna be really cool. So I'm gonna hopefully get some video of that. And then so David just bought this. He bought the Poor Man Supra. It's got,
nice.
SC300 with a 1J in it and an auto tranny. But he has this 2J because this thing like was finicky and is running weird, and so he got it kind of cheap. And then but he has a 2J. Dave bought a 2J because he.
Dang.
he's an RB guy, but he wanted something to run. So
cheap.
Dave, I'm sorry I called you Dan in Vegas like 6 times.
Deals.
he can't hear you.
I called him Dan like 6 times, and I feel really bad about it.
Taylor says he's sorry for calling you Dan. He says it's fine, but
I was like, why didn't you say anything?
no, he's used to being. And then we got the NA2J in the Supra, the NA1 in this thing, and then the one in the drift car, and then I have like a 1J parts thing over here, which has been like really really nice. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's just crazy. Like once you kind of switch your setup, then you just kind of fall into all these other random
Right. Like I'll end up
parts,
99 heads and like all sorts of other LS stuff lying around.
Yeah, like wiring harnesses and ECUs and heads and cams and just other blocks and just random stuff. Like I still have a 6-liter like a truck motor and a 4.8 truck motor, and I think I still have an aluminum block.
Well,
Like an LS, like an LS1 block.
Boy, what you doing?
But yeah, so I still have a ton of LS stuff, and it's just funny. And then I don't even know. I have like I have 3 SRs in here. Actually 4 SRs. Because one's in the Datsun, one's out of the giveaway car that we took out of there, and then 2 of them are like apart.
Dang.
It's
Dude,
nuts, but
I'm like looking at my LS right now. It's crazy how easy the motor is to work on. Everything is a 10 or a 15. Like every bolt on
they're
is a 10 or a 15.
Yeah, no, LSs are it's crazy how simple they are.
They're amazingly simple. Someone asked, what's a good power level for drifting? It depends on the car.
350.
That's a good number. But like, I don't know. I think there's value in learning how to drift a low-powered car. I actually learned with some decent power. I don't know. I just see some people and they jump into like a 350 wheel car with big angle and stuff, and it takes them a lot longer to figure it out. And then also they can't drive anything else. Like I have a couple of friends and they both learned in V8 Wisefab cars, and now like they won't even try to drive anything else because they know they're going to spin out, because the whole time they've ever been drifting, they could just throw the car to crazy angle. And I don't know. Good to go through stages. Adam did it right in the beginning. He had like stock SR, stock angle, coilovers. He upgraded the coilovers, upgraded angle, upgraded the turbo. Like he did it all in stages.
Yeah. And he's still SR too. So he's like,
Taylor Ray hasn't worked on an LS because it's mostly the same 2 sizes I said plus 1. Come on now, people. Sorry.
Were they oh,
He
wow.
said Taylor hasn't worked on an LS because 8, 10. And the only 8s I've found so far were on the intake manifold and like ejectors and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, and like the bolts to hold the coil. Yeah, it's just I think it's the valve covers. Those bolts are 8s.
Hey, this person, Gary, he's right. So do you want to sponsor me an LS motor, TJ? TJ, I was reading the TJ comment. I called you TJ. Trevor, you want to sponsor me an LS motor? I'll show you my demographic, and my video will get 50,000 views, and I will promote your channel.
Are you talking to me, or was that somebody in the comments?
No, I'm making fun of you. I'm just joking. Somebody said in the comments, I want you to sponsor me. And then I was like, pretending to do a sponsorship pitch.
No, I thought somebody actually wrote that comment. I was stoked because they were paying attention.
Somebody did say that.
Oh, wow.
I want you to sponsor me. And then I was just going with it. Let's move on. We're stalemating here. Let's move on.
All right. What's the next topic?
Someone said I said I would make a video on good first shift car. I'm working on it eventually. You want to spawn? I only have a small window, so I can only read them like 3 at a time. Yeah. Yes, I already talked to Nicole. She was super sorry about it, and I told her it wasn't a big deal because it's just a car. It's like not a big deal. It's like the car is fine. just a little more beat up, which is great because now I won't be afraid to really smash it into people next trip. And Adam's gonna make it right. He always does. He's a nice guy. I wouldn't have that car for Adam.
Isn't it funny? Like the first thing that like anybody ever says when they buy a drift car, like, is I'm probably gonna smash it in a wall anyhow.
Yeah, and like I hate that because I have like friends that want to get into drifting and they have a car that's capable and they're like, I can't do it because I don't want to crash it. And I'm like, if you go out there with the mentality that you don't want to crash your car and you have some self-restraint and don't just start flooring it out of nowhere and run into walls or something, you're not going to crash it. I mean, a place like Ebisu, yes. That's why like I was okay with, like, I didn't expect, but I knew there was a strong possibility my car could get crashed there because it's Ebisu and it's gnarly. And like I crashed it twice, But like if you go to our local track to the skid pad, as long as you don't just go nuts and just run into shit, you're gonna be fine if you don't want to crash it. So I don't.
Like the pretty much the worst crash I've had in my S14 was in Vegas when I basically had the JZ in there for like one event without it popping the serpentine belt off, and I did like 15 or so runs like in the beginning of the day and like practice out there at the Pro-Am, and clutch kicked it, and then serpentine belt came off, and just like power steering was just like locked at full lock, and I like basically clutch kicked into the wall at it. But like that's pretty much the worst wreck I've had in my S14 in the almost 4 years of me drifting it. Like other than like front bumper, like rear quarter panel on some cones, like just some simple stuff like that. So I mean, as long as you don't go super crazy, I mean, you have to be like willing to sacrifice it, the car.
You have to know that
at the same time,
possibility.
But don't just go do it.
Right, that's the biggest thing. Like I rode with this guy who had an S14 from Japan because he worked in the military over there. It was a beautiful car, a leather interior, big turbo SR. And I rode with him in a drift event to like instruct him a little bit. And he spun out and just started like laughing maniacally. He's like, ah, ah, ah. He just like kept flooring it and just kept spinning out and spun his way onto a set of tires and like screwed the whole car up. And it's like, as long as you don't do that, he got like way too excited and just kept flooring it even after he spun out and just like beached it on a tire wall. Yeah, I was like, I'm not riding with anybody ever again. That was scary.
Yeah, riding with people like is kind of scary in general. Like
I used to not care until that moment, and then I was like, okay, I should probably pay more attention to who I ride with.
Yeah, no, because you get in somebody's car and they just like, because they're almost trying to impress you, so they drive like above their skill level to do it, and you're just like going for a ride, and you don't have control over anything other than just kind of trying to hold on to whatever they have in there.
Oh, yeah, terrible memories of that. That's what's cool about the OSW thing. They're doing that winter day now, and it's like a skid pad. They break up into 2 sections, and they have cones, so it's all like first gear stuff. So it's not really scary to ride along. They didn't even make the instructors wear helmets this time, which was nice because it's annoying like getting in and out of cars and taking helmets on and off a bunch of times.
Yeah.
There was a good comment in there that I was going to respond to, but I already lost it. So this guy's asked this question a bunch of times. He obviously wants to answer it. How do we both get into making videos? I got into videos purely because of Adam. That's why I owe a lot to Adam. So something like Nicole crashing my car is not even a big deal at all. It wouldn't be regardless of who he is, but Adam has done a lot for me, and Adam convinced me to get a YouTube channel. It wasn't like I met Adam and he talked to me and I was like, hey, I want to do this. Will you help me? He literally told me, hey, you should do this. I think it'd be good for you. You should do it and help me do it. So I wouldn't be here doing any of this stuff if it weren't for Adam. So I'm still really appreciative of that. And that's how I got into it. And I love it. It's great. I have so much fun doing YouTube stuff and talking to you guys.
Yeah, so I guess, me on YouTube, I don't know. I just always liked working on cars and doing random stuff. And I've been on YouTube, like watching videos since like probably 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. And I initially like put my first video on YouTube, and it was me selling a dirt bike on Craigslist, and I just had like this really super crappy like 144p like flip phone cell phone video like of this dirt bike just like idling in my driveway, and I like revved it, and that was when I was trying to get all intricate on Craigslist because I was in like 6th grade and I knew some HTML, so I had like this like HTML like Craigslist ad with this embedded YouTube video and like all these big pictures. I don't know. It was funny, but so that video actually got some decent views. I started doing like dirt bike videos and stuff, and then it just kind of progressed, and I started working on cars on that other channel a little bit, and then I just finally was like, okay, I actually want my own dedicated like automotive like do builds and projects and stuff, and that's when Motion Auto TV stemmed in like 2010. So my first project was like a drag car Mustang, but yeah,
nice.
that's pretty much what got me started. I was just pumped on working on stuff and wanted to share it. Oh, and the other thing is, I was watching a lot of other videos at the time. I don't know if did you watch a lot of YouTube stuff like Dave's Farm? Did you ever watch any of that back in the day?
No, like I said, I didn't even know YouTube as like a community existed until I met Adam.
Yeah. And see, when, me and my high school Craigslist days, like you'd see a car on Craigslist and you like get on YouTube and you search for it or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I ended up finding this guy. He's not on YouTube anymore. There's some controversial stuff that happened with him or whatever, but it was David's Farm. I see in the comments, there it is. And
yeah.
But anyhow, like he was like one of the guys that I actually really started following and like just kept up with his videos and like what he was up to, and that's kind of what kind of inspired me for my channel, is because I was kind of into watching his videos and just all of his random projects and stuff that he did, and he shared. He basically had this like, I think it was like 50 or so acres up in Canada, and he would just buy these random cars, or people would give him these cars, and he would just do the most ridiculous stuff with them, like
really
like he had this like Cavalier, and he basically put like this kind of like a roller coaster seat like up above the hood, like going forward.
I've seen that.
And then like where you could drive the car, but you're like 10 feet in the air above it in front of it, and you like hit the brakes and it like tipped and stuff. And I watched a lot of that random crap, and but so that's what kind of, I guess I was like, oh, that's cool, because there's like a community around
Right.
what he's doing, and in the comments and all that. And I was like, well, I think that'd be cool to do. So
I think that's like my favorite part of making YouTube videos is just the comments. Like I'll edit a video and I'm like so stoked to see what people have to say, and your feedback, because it's kind of like an ongoing conversation. I ask like, what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of that? Etc. And it's so cool to like be able to have a conversation with people, and so many people at once, and hear their input and stuff. And that's definitely what I get the most excited about when making a video. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to show these guys my TIG welds. Like, they're going to be hyped. It's like a bunch of friends that I talk to through a camera.
Yeah, and it's kind of like an ongoing conversation, like, and it's kind of cool even like on my channel, like surrounding like Dave and like his knees, somebody randomly
started that,
said something about him in like Instagram live stream, and now there's this just random Dave's knees like thing, and it's just funny because it like keeps going, and I don't know, it's just cool.
Right. Yeah, I agree, and I think that's definitely what I get the most hyped about. And like, as I've done more and more YouTube, that's what keeps me going, and that's why I don't take mean comments really to heart, and I feel like I'm pretty good at dealing with them. But when it's like people take things the wrong way, when I say something or do something and people take it totally the wrong way, and it just snowballs into everyone takes it the wrong way, that's when I'm like, man, this sucks, because it's not at all what I meant, or what this or that, and now everyone's saying it, and now it's almost like all of your friends are like, oh, you did this, oh, I hate you, and like you don't get to sit with them at lunch, I'm like, this everyone's mad at me, and they shouldn't even be mad at me.
Yeah, that's funny. How much of the comments do you actually read?
All of them.
Yeah, I'm probably about, I would say at least 80%, you know, of, because there's ones that come in, there's like a big old flood at first, and then, you know, after that it kind of tapers off, and then you kind of see all of those ones. But like the first initial rush, it's kind of hard to, you know, get
That's what's
through
been
those.
happening to me lately, because it's like whenever I upload my video, I've been so busy lately that before it was whenever I uploaded the video, I had time to kind of watch the first flood of comments. And now it's like I'll have the video scheduled to go up at 6 or whatever, and I'll start working on my car, and then it's 2 hours later before I even remember that the video went up, and I start trying to look through them, but I'm still working on my car, so I have to stop. And sometimes I don't get back to them, but I generally try
Yeah,
to.
sometimes it's like scary, like setting a video live when you're busy, because like you just like, I don't know, it's just weird because you like set it live and then you just like get busy for like hours, and you like don't look at your phone, and you're like, oh no, like you
I
go
hope
back to like
that
you
happen,
you you like hope your channel like didn't melt down or something while you were gone. Like
right?
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, like your address isn't somewhere posted up in a video, and people are commenting you to fix it, and you know
Yeah.
that me so many times.
Yeah, no, exactly like that. You're like just expecting the worst when you show back up on your channel. You're like,
You know what I appreciate? People in the comments that comment back to people in the comments. Like this guy
oh,
explained
like they,
one thing to about like saying that I said it several times and explain what happened. So that I don't have to do that. Like when people
yeah,
watch
I love,
the viewers and they, you know, either like defend you and be like, "You're that doesn't make sense. That's not what he meant," whatever, or they'll explain stuff that people are somehow too ignorant to pay attention to.
yeah, or like if somebody's new on the channel or something and they like ask a question, you know, one of like the, you know, the older people are actually kind of know, you know, keep up with it. They'll actually go in there and kind of fill them in, or, you know, answer questions that you don't necessarily
So
have
cool though,
time to do.
man. It's just so tight that like you know you have these people who know all about it, and it's almost like forum members, but like for a channel, you know, and they know what's going
Yeah.
on, build new people in, and it is a community.
Yeah. Do you have like a Snapchat, like a public Snapchat?
Yeah, yeah, I use Snapchat a lot. That's probably the easiest way, like where I respond to people the most is Snapchat.
Yeah, I think it's cool for like little things, but like getting into like technical discussions on there is really, really hard, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
because if somebody's really, really trying to, and like you want to answer their questions, but then you like accidentally didn't save the snap, and then they message you and you're like, oh, I forgot what you said, because you go through this like block of like 50 or 100 and like trying to reply to everybody, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I accidentally clicked off on it, but who was it? And you're like, oh,
and you don't
like,
even remember what it was. You're like, oh, I want to respond to this, but I don't know which person this is.
yeah, no, it's nuts, but yeah, it's so funny because there's like some like husband and wives that like watch like my channel like together, and it's just funny because they'll like
So
Snapchat like one another, like catching them watching my video, and it like, and then send it to me.
that's
That's I think that's hilarious.
it's cool,
Or
man.
like,
What we get to do is so cool. We're so lucky to like just have this. You know, I think it's cool.
oh yeah, I mean, essentially it's like the dream job, you know. It is what you want it to be, you know, like as long as you're doing something that you're like genuinely stoked about, and you've kind of, you know, you're in the same realm, you know, of kind of what you do, like, you know, you could do it essentially,
Yeah,
which is so awesome.
like me getting into welding. Like I've tried not to make any like welding dedicated videos, but you know, I've been showing it in videos, and I'll at least like update people. Like, oh look, my welds are getting better or whatever, you know, and it's just fun to be able to do that, you know, and know that people are going to be stoked on what I'm doing, and it's like stoked on the Miata, and it gets me hyped up to get stuff done. I'm like, everyone wants to see this done. I can't slack on this. Like, paychecks coming in, gonna order more parts, and we're gonna get it done because I know everyone else wants to see it too, and that's cool. It's I love when people will tell me that I like my videos motivate them. I'm sure you get that too. Like
Mm.
get out there and work on stuff. And I'm like, that's cool because I know how hard it is at times to be motivated to work on your car. And if I can motivate somebody else, like that's sick because I know I need motivation a lot of times.
Yeah, no, that's definitely like, I would say one of the most rewarding things is, you know, there was this kid, he sent me I think it was a message on Snapchat or Instagram. I think it was Instagram, but he like kind of was like, you know, just sent me a picture of his car, and it had like a 1J VBTI in it, and it was like running and driving, and I was like, yours? And he's like, yeah, he's like, you inspired me to do the build, you know, and he like sent me like kind of like a little progress, like almost, you know, picture thread of his progress, and he's like, you know, hey, thanks for, you know, sharing information or whatever, and you inspired me to do this, and
That's
I was just like, oh, that's so dope, you know, that like you actually inspired somebody to go out and do that, and then they actually did it, and
right.
that's what's
Not
super
just
cool.
do it, like they did it.
Yeah.
All right, what else are we
But
gonna?
then you also get the other random like questions, you know, where somebody like messages you and they're like, hey, I want to put like a turbo LS in my mom's Camry, like so she could get me to school faster, like how do I do that,
Yeah,
you know, like
like
or oh, one of the other things I was talking to about one of my other a buddy was asking me about YouTube stuff yesterday is I almost want to I initially had, before I converted my actual like motionautotv.com to an actual, you know, like merchandise website, I had it was as kind of like a WordPress like blog type of thing, and so I had like a full build thread on my drift car there, you know, which I thought was really cool. So, and in my videos, I would like reference it and be like, hey, if you guys have any questions, or, you know, you could go look and basically
oh no,
like,
I
sorry, I had a call
lost
coming in,
your face is gone. Oh, it's back.
but I think that would be almost like another good value for, you know, since this is like the sponsorship, you know, topic or whatever, but I think that would be another good value for sponsors, you know, is if we had kind of our own dedicated websites of like previous builds, past builds, you know, could kind of
Products.
go into more of like a
Mhm.
like an in-depth kind of like more of like a how-to, you
Yeah,
know, or like
stuff.
yeah, and especially since I feel like Facebook has, you know, killed all the forums, so there's not really any information out there anymore, you know.
No, there's not.
So like
Well,
for your LS swapped Miata, go ahead.
what did you say?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can.
I was gonna say for like your LS swapped Miata, I think it would be really cool to do. You could almost do like an article, you know, on your website essentially. That's like how to LS swap a Miata, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
and it go and it goes through, you know, the topics, kind of the parts list, you know, some pictures and stuff, and then reference kind of the videos in there too, like embed them on the page so that, you know, it's kind of searchable too. So if nobody's ever heard of you, you know, they type in LS swap Miata,
they
like
make
it'll pull up on their website, on your website, you know, and that would be a huge value to the viewers, you know, to actually be able to get that dedicated information, you know, and not have to like reach out and ask us, where you kind of have to like, you know, feed them information that you don't necessarily have the time to do, you know.
right, and you could put it all in one place. So, because I used to like reading build threads a lot back in my Zilvia days, I made a build thread on my S14 that I put like a 2.2 SR in. I had an RB in it. I took it out and put a 2.2 SR in it, and I had like this whole long build thread, and I thought I was so into it. But then
No, I
Photobucket is the one who mainly killed forums.
no, yeah, that the whole photo bucket thing sucks because like all the information that was out there that people could search is just completely gone.
What?
So now it's like it is YouTube, you know,
There's a
like
plugin now for that. There's a plugin that you can get for Chrome that like somehow allows them all to be there again.
really.
Yeah, my roommate, I found it. I sent it to him while I was hanging out like in his room. He did it and it worked. Like, so that's kind of fixed.
Yeah.
Um, oh, so I want to say one thing. People keep at saying the Tom's Turbo Garage guy. Yeah, I started watching into that build, and he's kind of a total different route for me. He kind of took the very right way to do things and the very long way around. Nothing against him at all. Like, yeah, he did an amazing job on it. But I'm gonna do more of the like budget and the this is the minimum you have to do to get this done kind of job. Like, I'm not gonna pull my car down to a bare shell and all that just to do the swap. We're just gonna get it done. So that's kind of like my whole goal with the swap is keep it under 10K all said and done, which sounds like a lot, but everyone on the forums is like, oh, it's 20K minimum to do an LS swap in a Miata, and I think it can be done for under 10. It's gonna be tough, but that, you know what? That's a good segue into the sponsorship thing. So another thing I started to think about lately is that now, are you still there?
Okay, my phone bugged out for a second.
Oh, okay. Did you hear what I said?
You're
Okay.
good now.
Did you hear anything I said?
I heard you talking about the Tom's Turbo Garage or whatever.
Okay, then my Miata, I'm doing it on a budget, trying to keep it under 10K. Most people say 20. So the other thing with sponsorships too is now, if I feel like, let's say the cam for my motor, like I found through sloppy mechanic stuff, like a really good cam for like sub $300. You can't hear me? Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, now I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I still can't hear you.
How about now?
Now I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my phone. It was being weird.
Okay, real
We're
quick.
back though.
Trying to keep it under 10K, trying to keep it on a budget. That brings me back to the sponsorship thing. So, like for example, the like sloppy stage 2 cam and valve springs, it's like under $300 for the cam and like under $200 for the valve springs. Now, maybe I could email 10 cam and valve spring companies and get one company who makes $500 valve springs and somebody else who makes a $500 cam to sponsor me. But I would rather at this point spend my own money to buy the cheaper stuff to show people, you know, how to do it on the budget and stay within my budget and make the overall videos what I want them to be and make this a $10,000 swap than getting something for free that's more expensive and it blowing the whole budget portion of it. Because I have done that before, and I don't know. I feel like you've got to kind of pick your battles on that one. Oh, someone's hitting on Sarah in the comments. I lost you again, Trevor. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Oh, you're back. Nope. The potato virus is real.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, your headphones just must be popping.
I don't know. They're angry.
And no, 10K
They're
does
really
not.
angry.
Sorry, somebody asked that. That's 10K for the swap.
No, I guess how you were saying, like, you want those videos to be how you want them to be, which essentially is like a relatable swap,
Right.
you know, like, and I feel like that's what people want to see. Like, people are seem like they're really stoked, like, on this E46, budget drift car, because it's relatable.
Right.
It's not a Mark IV Toyota Supra that I'm trying to build all perfect and do a lot of stuff, which isn't attainable for a lot of people, because first off, you can't even find them, and then they're expensive.
Right.
But a $1,000 E46 drift car, like that's pretty relatable, and I feel like that's kind of where I want my channel to kind of always be. Is I don't want it to necessarily grow to like this.
Yeah, we're building like Ferrari,
like
crazy,
or like like I don't know. I would like to do like super legit builds, but I don't want to have like the whole like TV money, or like on Discovery Channel, or any of those shows. Like they essentially just like throw money at cars just to get them done. And that was. Yeah, and that was one of the things that when I was initially, kind of started my channel, is I was kind of tired of seeing that, like people just get this like money band-aid and just build a car,
and they just buy parts. So like that's why I wanted to learn how to weld and stuff, because I want to be able to make my own parts. And instead of, oh well, I guess I'll buy this because this is the only company that makes this diff brace and it's $500. It's like, no, I'll just buy one, or I'll make my own mounts, or I'll do whatever. I think even if I had a crazy budget, I don't think I would ever build anything. The only thing I think that I would spend a lot of money on would be maybe a drift car. just to make it as reliable as possible. But even then, like I think everything I'm going to do is budget because it's like Matt said from Slot Mechanics. It's way more rewarding when you do it on a budget. You know, if you go, all right,
Yeah.
I've only got $5,000 to do this turbo LS swap and everything, and you get it done, it's more rewarding than just throwing infinite amounts of money at it. Oh well, I guess I need this thing. Okay, $1,000. You did it, but at for 30 grand.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and
No,
the other kind of
we're
funny
not at
thing.
all talking about Adam. There's a lot of other car channels that we're referring to that I'm not gonna blatantly name out.
Oh, just spending money on cars. I don't know. It's funny because like
Adam's frugal, man. He tries
he
not to
really
do
is.
dumb stuff that he does.
And what's funny though is like I was talking to him on the phone when he got the GT350. I was like, okay, so if you had Nicole's car like in the garage or the GT350, like which one would you drive? And he's like, well, the GT350 because it has AC. Only on today because it's hot, but like any other time, he would drive Nicole's car because it's just so much more of I don't know. It's his, like he built it, like put all the things in it, like it's cool, It's like he made it like theirs, essentially.
Yeah, he said that
And
same thing about the 240. He's like, I'd rather drive my 240 than any other car I own. I think it's cooler. And it's
yeah,
like he's the YouTuber that's got a modded 240, not the YouTuber who just went out and bought a GTR, just went out and bought a Ferrari. Like he built his car
yeah,
and he put a lot of time into it. He picked the aero. Like I remember when he was telling me he was going to put aero on it. I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, don't, because then you'll be afraid to crash it. And then he finished and we like put the car together. I'm like, dang, this looks really good. I'm like, all right, well, shit, you got good taste then. Like he picked
yeah,
out the sides of my car and they made him look way better.
yeah,
I'm not good with that kind of stuff, but he is.
yeah.
What
I
do we?
love how you guys are all buddies because of YouTube. Oh, I guess that's a good topic too. Is like, I mean, YouTube really did bring us together. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
and it's almost like in a sense it's like a job interview, but like you could see if you like that person before you even ever attempt to
That's
talk,
true.
like
Anything.
what was funny is like I met up with when we were in at SEMA or whatever. I met up with like Chris from BS for Build and like TJ Hunt, and it was just funny because like I keep up on their videos here and there, and they watch my stuff here and there. But it was just funny because it was like we already knew each other. I don't know. We like it was just kind of weird, like how that whole thing just kind of works. But like I initially met Adam at SEMA last year, and then that kind of
Oh, that's
led
right.
it, yeah, and then that led into the kind of the whole Texas thing. And then, or no, I think I met you in Florida when I went down there with Jamie for our like little baby moon thing to Disneyland.
Yeah, but I met you. During SEMA mostly though. Like that's when we first started like having
Yeah.
a conversation and stuff. Because I was at SEMA too, and then Texas and whatnot.
hmm So no, actually, I think we met in Texas. I think that's the time we first like officially met.
Are you sure? Because I remember I was trying to find Adam at SEMA, and he's like, "Oh, I'm with Trevor from Motion Auto TV," and I went over and like met up with David and you. I think
Hmm.
I, I don't remember. It doesn't matter. We met. We're all friends now. It is crazy how like all the car YouTubers kind of like keep up with each other, and I'm sure it's the same for any other specific genre of YouTubers.
Yeah. Oh, look at Van Horn Jim. I think he sent $20 earlier, but he said check out my build if you get a chance. Just glad I can support. Thanks, Van Horn Jim. What I wonder what he's building.
Let's see, look at it, see what it is. I'll read comments. How do you guys feel about putting girlfriend in videos? Makes my girlfriend think I'm not watching for the cars. Oh, that's an interesting point. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Like, if someone just overdid it with their girlfriend and she was always in skimpy clothes, but I don't know. I don't really put my girlfriend in much. I introduced her to you guys because I talked about her a bunch, but I I try to keep stuff like car related. I'm not like I don't really want to be like a lifestyle YouTuber. I'm pretty like detailed with you guys about what I do with my life, but I don't know. I just want to show you guys car stuff. So I guess there's a little
Yeah.
bit of
I think, you know, I think it's good to throw in the life stuff here and there, you know, because it
but not
shows that,
fully
you
is what
know,
I mean. Like not so crazy. Like oh, I have to bring my girlfriend over every time. You know, it's just I wanted to put her
yeah,
in the video because I cared and I wanted them to see her and I care what they thought and that they got to see her and all that. But at the same time, I'm not gonna like I wouldn't make a vlog. I wouldn't make a video if I wasn't doing something car related. You know,
yeah,
that's all.
yeah.
That's going there.
I
I
kind of,
hit off the wrong initial topic.
yeah.
Reminds me, I gotta text my girlfriend back and see when she's coming over.
Okay, and I'll take over for a second. So check this out. So this is at the Van Horn gym. Let me switch the camera around. Okay, I think you guys can see this. Let me unplug this. But yeah, check this out. Uh-oh, we're going into like some crazy stuff. He's got a LS1 swapped, or an LS swapped Toyota pickup truck. But I'll leave this open, and I'll be sure to check that out a little bit later. But I appreciate the super chat. That's very nice. Yeah, back over here. I think Taylor, I can see him. He's texting.
Yeah.
My phone does some weird stuff though on this thing.
My phone.
Don't need 13-year-olds knowing. No, yeah, but somebody said don't need 13-year-olds knowing every part of your life. And yeah, like I like to kind of incorporate Jamie and the baby kind of here and there. You know, kind of give little updates. I know a lot of people like if I post a Snapchat of the baby, I get like 50 messages and they're just like, oh, so cute. And, you know, I think that's really cool. And people are pretty stoked, especially other like dads and parents.
Right. They can
And
relate. You know.
yeah, and it's so funny too, because like before, if somebody was talking to me about their kid, you know, I'm just like, like whatever. I don't really, you know, care about like the kid or whatever. But now that like I have a kid, like they tell me their stories about their kids and what
And
they
you're like,
do,
oh man, this is crazy. Yeah.
and I like to get like so pumped, like hearing
Yeah, I
somebody's
could see
story about their kid. And then like when I go to tell stories about the baby or you know they get pumped too. It's just funny. Like
I
if
know
you
exactly.
know you got to
If like welding, I've always been into welding. It's just like whatever. As soon as you have something in that realm, you go from maybe not caring at all to like, oh wow, and you actually listen and want to hear this.
yeah.
Man, what was I gonna say about that? It was the 13-year-olds not needing to know everything about your life. Oh yeah, and then like the problem is, like I put my girlfriend in the video and she's tired and she's camera shy, and I joked around. I'm like, everyone's gonna think you're a brat, and everyone's like, wow, da da da, she's such a brat, this and that. I'm like, she's not though. You guys are gonna make me not want to put her in videos, and you're definitely not gonna make her want to be in videos if I mean, she didn't even read the comments, I don't think, but there's like 50, 100 comments saying that she's a brat. Like, it sucks, you know? And then it's, or like, you know, I've made mistakes before working on my car and I own up to them and then get just reamed in the comments. And it's like sometimes people make it hard to be genuinely 100% honest in your videos because it's like, hey, I was honest and fessed up to this mistake I made and showed you guys and told you guys why I made it. And then I still get 50 comments of how I'm an idiot and I don't deserve a wrench in my hand and yada yada. So
Yeah, even though you like blatantly stated in the video, like, "Hey, I've never done this before," or "Hey, I messed up."
yeah, like
Like they just,
everyone messes up, and it's people think that it it's hard because when you're watching a video, you're just sitting there doing nothing, so it's easy to see anything someone does wrong. But it's like I challenge anybody who works on cars, if I put a camera on them 24 hours a day, they're going to do something wrong, or they're going to do something that some other mechanic would tell them is completely wrong. And you get these armchair mechanics that are, oh, that's not how you held the wrench backwards, and that creates slip. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. You're fake, you monkey mechanic. And it's like, ah, so annoying.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely crazy. I don't know. I'm pretty stoked on my, like, I feel like I'm one of the really lucky YouTubers as far as like comment section. Like my comment section is it's beautiful.
Mine stops unless the video does like more than like 100, 120K. Once it passes that mark, it's all new people who haven't seen any of my videos yet. And
Yeah.
that's when it's like just a festiva of people.
Yeah, it's funny because I have like I feel like I have a really good core of like, 40 to 50,000 people that watch kind of what anything I do, and then I have, like, as soon as I do anything with the super, then it's like 100, you know,
And then
but
past that,
it's funny because yeah, then past that it's just kind of like crazy, but it's funny like when the Supra people chime in, like because they're just like, why don't you work on the Supra? Quit doing this other stuff. Why are you messing with this BMW? And then I just love the comments that how you're talking about people sticking up for you is then like my core group of people like get on there and they're like, hey, just let him do what he needs to do. He's making videos, he's doing this, and they like stick up for me, and they're like,
and you're like, hell
and
yeah,
then
thank you for understanding. They're the
yeah, and then
core.
they're the guys that are like, do whatever you want. I'm gonna watch anything and everything you ever post. And so that's in some
Those people
aspect,
really
it kind of makes me it makes me not care about like the super videos almost as much, because I'm like, okay, yeah, it's cool that they get views, but at the same time, like
not
the people that are there don't care
right. Yeah,
about
I could see that.
kind of anything else,
I think
So
it's a good point too, because I noticed that too. It's the same thing with sponsorships. Like there's all these people bashing me for talking about Milwaukee, and I just genuinely like their stuff and was explaining, like, how good the electric ratchets are. You have one, Adam has one. Like I was just telling people what kind of tools are good, and yes, I did get them for free. But anyway, there was so many people on there that commented and were like, that's sick, Taylor. That's awesome that Milwaukee sponsored you. Like, I'm so stoked for you. Instead of bashing me for it, they're like happy about it because they care. And I
yeah,
that's so cool.
yeah, and I did. It's funny because I when I was texting Adam for like the parts list of the 1J car, he was like asking me what stuff he needed to buy before I went out there, and I was like a Milwaukee like M12 like 3/4
I
or like
remember
3/8 ratchet, like I was like, buy that thing, and I actually brought mine from
I remember
Colorado.
that. We had two of them. I remember you
Yeah,
told him that because like, oh, I had to buy this and now I love it. It's amazing. It was just
yeah,
that and my tool backpack was all I was talking about because I know a bunch of people who bring tool boxes to events and I'm like, screw that. So I've always brought a bag and I've had this bag that's been terrible for like 5 years and I'm like, I don't know why I didn't think that a tool company would have a tool bag, but I finally like realized that they make a tool bag. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the
yeah,
best invention. You got a super chat, and the guy I've seen him comment a bunch of times. So
yeah.
read his comment.
I was just getting
Read
ready to
his
respond to that.
comment.
So Auto House Garage just sent a $20 super chat, so I appreciate that. He said, "What's your next build, man? You do some amazing work. I'd love to come visit your shop sometime if possible. Nothing wrong with having sponsorship. Check out my channel. I did a walk around of my build and future build. That's sweet. I'll open that in a separate tab, and I'll be sure to check that out here in a minute."
Once we end this thing, one hold on, one thing. Somebody posted question: what's with clickbait on YouTube? I have a really opinionated opinion about that I'm going to just throw in here real quick. Here's the
Get it.
problem with
Get them.
clickbait. Everyone wants to complain about clickbait, but everyone watches clickbait videos. So what are people going to do? Like, I can post a video saying the auto build part one, this and this and this, which actually that's not a good example. I could post a video title saying exactly what's going on, and it might get 40,000 views, 50,000 views. I post one that's about part of it where I spun out into a ditch and it gets 300,000 views. If you guys want clickbait to end, you have to stop watching clickbait. Stop. They're all obvious. Just stop clicking on the clickbait. And I've honestly like I hate it so much that unless it's like a really good opportunity to do it, I won't do it. Like when I crashed my Miata into a ditch, like I crashed my car street drifting. Not too much clickbait, and it really happened. But the problem is people view them, and the people who are making millions and millions of dollars a year on YouTube are the people who are professional clickbaiters. So
I
where is the
I
problem? Well,
yeah, I don't know. I wish I could clickbait. Like I feel like it's an art, like that you almost have to like you almost have to have like a clickbait touch, because I feel like if I try to clickbait, I can't.
no, I can't. I do a very bad job too.
Yeah, but some people are like natural born clickbaiters. Like
My
it's
best
insane.
videos weren't even like clickbait. Well, my best one is clickbait. I was like, "Don't everybody use car if this happens." worked out.
Yeah.
My second best one was just me talking about how many cars I've had, and I thought that video was going to get like, only my core subscribers are going to watch it, maybe like 15,000, 20,000 views, and then it got like 500. It's an hour-long video of me
Yeah.
talking about cars, which I'm really happy about because I don't know. I think my car story is kind of funny and cool, and hopefully,
No,
some
yeah,
people
that's
feel bad about their crappy trades that they might make at some point in time.
yeah, and you're like, oh, I'm the master of crappy trades, so
Yeah,
no,
dude, I got.
yeah, somebody was asking like how long we were planning on streaming for. How about we just end it at the 30 mark and at
That
the 30
sounds.
minutes? So that'd be what, like 12 more minutes or so.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we could get in our last thing. You could go hang out with your bratty girlfriend.
Minecraft. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
I've got.
she seemed like it in the video, but it's just funny because you antagonized him by calling her a brat already.
Yeah, I know. I was like, people are gonna think you're a brat. Dude, I have. Let's see. I like thought I finished everything on the Miata. I still have to edit the video from yesterday, working on the Miata. I've got to fix the camber on the driver's side because when I got hit at that event, I changed the tie rod, but I just looked at it and realized that it's like almost positive camber in the front. I got to fix that. I've got to pack. I want to play the drift sim so I can get some practice in for tomorrow. And
Yeah,
then I've got to load stuff up and head to the event tomorrow. I got a
nice.
busy
Yeah.
evening ahead of me.
Oh man, the life of a YouTuber is insane. Like, it, I don't think you could ever like turn it off. Like, as far as being kind of like engaged on YouTube or like with, I don't know, you're like always thinking about like videos and the comments and okay, I need to edit this video and now I got to film this video and it's a mess. Like
There's
it's
always something you need to do, and it's a
always.
blessing and a curse because it's like I like it because I'm never bored, but at the same time, I can never just relax. If I want to come out here and like practice TIG welding, constantly in the back of my mind the whole time I'm sitting here is, yeah, but I should be editing that video. I should be editing that video. I should be editing that video. It's like, but to me, it's awesome because back, when I used to drink a lot, I just wouldn't do anything. I'd come home and just do nothing all day and just hang out with my friends and watch TV, do whatever. And I'd gotten out of like busting my butt, like working on cars all the time. And since I quit, it's like it's good to have so much stuff to do because I enjoy staying busy so much more than I enjoy doing nothing. And it's
Oh
nice to
yeah.
always have.
Yeah, and I think that's almost the good thing about cars in general. Like I feel like another video I've kind of had in my head for a little while is like cars versus drugs. Like
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm sure you've kind of thought the same thing. Is like you said when you used to drink a lot. Kind of when you're bored, you're like, oh, what is there to do? Nothing. All right, well, whatever. I'm gonna go drink or I'm gonna go party or I'm gonna go do this. And then it just kind of leads to this like lifestyle. Whereas like cars, it's its own like drug essentially because whether you're working on it or you're even if you're not working on it, you want to work on it. You're looking at parts on the internet. You're watching YouTube videos. Like everybody who's watching us right now, is essentially addicted to cars.
Yep.
And it's just crazy because like I don't know, people. I think it's almost more addicting and probably a lot more expensive. But I don't know. I do. I've had that video in my head for a little while. I've always wanted to kind of talk about that.
Yeah.
Like in its own.
I've thought about that too. Like wanted to talk about just my own history with like, how I kind of like, because drinking, I feel like it starts for everyone. Like I didn't drink until like most kids start like, you go to parties at like 16 and drink whatever. I didn't do any of that until like after high school. And it kind of was this gradual thing where it was like, hang out with my friends, drink to like drink some beers after work to like hang out with friends that day drink and drink at the beach and drink. And then it turned out it's like everything we did involved drinking. And it's like the
Yeah.
problem with drinking is you come home and you have a beer and you're like, well, I'm just going to sit here and have a couple more beers now because it makes you lazy and then you don't get anything done because that's all you ever end up doing. So
Yeah.
And I think that I especially like to talk to some of my younger, viewers, and just hopefully prevent them from going down that path. Like I was lucky because I did the car thing like early on. I was 15, 16. I got my first car. I would go to car meets. All my friends were older, didn't drink, just did car stuff, was drifting, was working on my car, and that's all I did. So when I got into this drinking phase and then kind of like saw where that took my life, I was like, oh, life was way better before this, back when I just did car stuff. And then I went back to the car stuff. But I feel like if somebody starts at such a young age, it's going to be hard for them to remember a fun life, social life without drinking if that's all they really remember from
Yeah.
teenage adulthood.
Yeah, no, and I kind of feel like, I got into the car thing like, way early. Like I got my Datsun when I was like 14, and, got on the internet when nobody was sharing information on how to do body work, and, started doing body work out in the garage until, 2 a.m. and stuff like that. But, it's just kind of crazy because there's, obviously you probably the same thing. Like you have friends that, you grew up with, and then like they're into like drugs now, or harder drugs, and I have like a lot of like good, bad examples, around me that, I've kind of seen that and where that's taken them, and it kind of, definitely strayed me away from it. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I'm just going to do, my whole car thing. But, that's kind of another message I kind of want to get out to people essentially, a lot of like the younger people, is like, cars and drugs and whatever, like cars are, or it's cars are a better drug. It's almost.
Yeah, and
But
not even just cars. I mean, it could be anything. You could like be a fabricator. You could be into four wheelers, boats, jet skis, whatever. Just something that keeps you busy. And like I have an addictive personality, so what I did is I started learning how to weld, and then I kind of figured that out, and I got my TIG stuff. And I've been like, what I do when I'm bored is I just come out here and practice TIG welding, and it's
yeah,
been such an exciting and rewarding thing for me to do. And I think anybody who's bored or depressed or at a weird point in their life, like try to pick up a hobby, try to learn something new, because it's generally going to be so challenging that you're not going to be able to focus on all the other stuff you're worried about. You just got to focus on trying to do whatever it is you're doing, And I think
yeah,
that,
yeah. And I definitely say the hobby, no matter what it is,
yeah,
is going to be 100 times better than drinking or, partying or doing, obviously there's a time and a place for, you
absolutely.
know, for like social events and things like that. They're not, obviously not saying that you can't, like I had a pretty decent time when I was at SEMA, but, it was like one night out of the whole, thing where we actually went out and kind of did something. But yeah, yeah, hobbies are
There's,
where it's at, and actually just
I don't
being,
know how people don't have hobbies. I think that's why my stepmom was such a miserable person, because she didn't have a hobby, and she just hated that I had one, and I had fun and I enjoyed my life, and I could tell it just ate away at her. And there are people who they just go to work, they come home and they watch TV and they go to sleep, and they don't have any hobby to fulfill them. And I just can't imagine living like that. I remember when I was,
and I was gonna say like I feel like all the like the YouTube trolls or like the YouTube haters like don't have hobbies.
yeah,
Like that is their hobby. Like that's how they get entertainment, is like stirring the pot on the internet.
yeah, it's like I remember my stepmom was trying to tell me back in the day, oh, you need to sell your car and you can't afford to do this, and because I was working at Steak and Shake, making like $7 an hour, trying to go drifting every weekend. I was dumpster diving for tires and whatever, and I was like, but what would I do? Like, what would
Yeah,
I do with my life if I didn't have my car and like just had a normal car? Like,
yeah,
you know? And then I'm sure you got this in high school too, like all the kids that were like, oh, all you care about is cars. Oh, the cars are all you do, whatever. And it's like, well, what do? You go
yeah.
to parties,
Party like
you go to house parties and take pills and get hammered and fall in the pool. Like, that's way cooler than what I'm doing.
yeah, and kind of I guess my opinion on you know almost I guess certain types of drugs or whatever in general is it seems like it's like it's a cop out. It's like you don't have to have an imagination for like the rest of your life, you know, because the only thing that essentially you're going to do at that point is revolve around like the drugs, whether it's, you know, finding people to do them with, or finding them, or figuring out how you're going to get them, or, you know, your whole life just turns into that once you're in those like really highly addictive things, you know, like, so essentially they don't really have, you know, I don't know. It's almost like an instant lifestyle.
Yeah,
You know, like
you're part of that scene now, and that's your life, and that's what you're gonna do.
yeah, but they're not bored though. You know, I guess that's the other argument. Like us with cars, like we're not bored because we could look at cars and, you know, work on cars. Like they could, you know, hang out with each other and find shit. I don't know. That's probably a deep topic, but we'll stay.
I might cover that topic one day. Comment in the thing if you want me to cover the topic about that at some point.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we should do another live stream about that, because that would be.
Yeah, we could do
or
that.
Maybe. Yeah, or maybe we could do it like actually like in person with each other. Just, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I think that
live stream.
Yeah. But
let's see if there's any more last minute comments before we leave. All right, boys, it's been fun switching over to Thursday Night Football. Have fun. Drift Review, by the way, I saw your comment earlier, Drift Review. I normally get on Live for Speed at like midnight or later because that's usually done catching up with everything. So I might be on late tonight, like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Nice. Well, you know what time it is, Taylor?
It's time to go.
Time to do a burnout.
Oh, are you gonna do it?
What should we do a burnout in?
What are the options?
Dave, we have to do a burnout. Well, there's too many damn cars in the way. I think the BMW would be. We could do a burnout in the BMW, but I don't want to do a burnout in the shop with it. What can we do a burnout in, Dave? Oh, David worked on this thing. He's working on it, and the fuel line's disconnected.
I have to make my own banjo thing.
Oh, too bad you sold that little lathe thing. But all right, what are we gonna do a burnout in? We can't leave him hanging. The Saab won't do a burnout.
Oh no! Oh. Hurry up, Trevor.
Dave's G. Well, we could run a minute or two past, a couple minutes past.
Well, your boy's got lots to do, Trevor.
I forgot you're an automotive YouTuber.
I forgot you're an automotive YouTuber.
Yeah. Man, I don't want to. I can't even see the comments right now on if anybody wants to do. But
no, my neighbors are having a children's party. If I did a burnout right now, I would go to jail.
All right, who wants to see a super burnout? You're gonna have to let me know if any of the comments. Any of the comments say super burnout.
They're still cashing out.
Well, because I'm this one runs, but it doesn't run. It has a open header right there. Well, and it actually has an open turbo manifold off it, so it doesn't doesn't run quite the best. And the oil line is like just kind of stuffed in the drain. Like the feed line is going just straight into the drain because there's not a turbo on it.
Oh.
But I don't know. We can maybe do like a little peel in here, not like a big one.
Do a little peel and let's
just a little one. Do a little peel. All right, we're gonna do a little peel, David. You wanna handle this?
Yes.
You could. You want to get that thing off the back?
Oh yeah. Grab it all.
Your camera?
Hey, no, mine's right here. Hold on.
All right.
Nope, that's my camera, so don't mess up.
Super burnout. Oh, you took the battery.
I didn't take the battery.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, Trevor, you're killing me.
We're a mess around here. I was doing compression tests. And I stole the battery. Sorry, Taylor.
No, you're fine. I'm just giving you crap.
I'll let it warm up for 5 minutes.
Yeah, right. forget those are glass headlights. Oh!
Oh my God, what is happening? Whoa!
Burnout would be better than this.
Well, it's going sideways, and it almost got into Jamie's little art project.
All right, Trevor. That's it. We're out.
Hold on. All right, so sorry that sucked.
That was a good burnout. I liked it. It had character.
It had a little bit of character. It was just going sideways, and it's in the shop, so you don't want to get too crazy. Yeah.
Right.
I almost ruined Jamie's art project. Her
It's a dang
rocking
shame.
chair restoration. But yeah,
All right.
So did you already tell everybody bye?
Goodbye, everybody.
All
Goodbye.
right, well, I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I thank you, Taylor, for joining me on this little topic.
I like these things. They're enjoyable.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun, and I feel like people get a little bit more kind of in touch. They see what we're doing and see that we're real people, and that we get to talk crap to each other live in front of everybody.
No, it's fun. It's a good time.
Okay, so before everybody goes, be sure to check out Taylor's channel. The link is in the description. He has his YouTube channel. He does his own builds and everything. He's doing LS1 in that Miata behind him, and has a Corvette that you're planning on. Hopefully, sloppy mechanics, turbocharging.
Yeah, or CTSV supercharging.
One of those, yeah. And he also has his own merchandise that he sells. I have the link to that in the description, so be sure to check him out and support him as well. And I also have my stuff in the description, but you guys already know about that. But yeah, appreciate everybody watching. And you got anything you need to say before you go, Taylor?
No, that's it. That's it.
All right. Well, yeah. Again, I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate everybody watching.
It was fun.
And yeah, we'll have to do it again.
All right, so who's gonna hang up, me or you?
Oh, it has to be me. I gotta hit stop broadcast. So, all right, wave goodbye. Stay here for a minute, Taylor.
We had to keep waving while it ends. Is it ended?
Wait, I think.